We are finally approaching the long-awaited day where we see what happens when Rapunzel and Cassandra are finally reunited again, as Cassandra comes to take her revenge. The Moonstone's holder is making her way to Corona, but what is she hoping to accomplish when she arrives? What are Cass's plans? Hello, I'm Isaac from Wotso Videos, where we discuss fun topics for fun people. I'm focused on spreading magic by discussing Disney, so if you are new here, consider subscribing. Another mid-season, hour-long episode is coming this Sunday to Disney Channel and Disney Now of Tangled the Series, and I'm honestly ecstatic. The songs, the action, and a continuation of the long story we've been observing for years is going to come to a head in the episode titled Cassandra's Revenge. This is actually an episode that we've been aware of for a very long time, as we first heard about it during the developments of Season 2. But today, I want to finally discuss what might happen when Cassandra returns. After Cassandra's brutal betrayal, she has been tormented by her decision to turn away from Rapunzel. She's been questioning her purpose, and she's wanted to know what the truth is about her destiny. Rapunzel had felt Cass through the red rocks that Cass had sent their way to Corona, but since then, Rapunzel had been unaware of where she could have been.
This is our best lead so far. We haven't heard from her in months.
We learn a lot about what Cassandra has been doing in the episode Islands Apart, and specifically, we find out that she's made no contact with Corona. There also seems to be very little of her humanity remaining. I definitely still do believe that there is a part of Cassandra that could be redeemed, as I had discussed in a previous video, but the confliction we saw in the past seems to be heavily eroded. From the captain of the guards, the man who raised her and became her father, we discover that she has been busy since her defeat with the Red Rocks. While we previously had seen her struggling with the ideas that the enchanted girl had presented to her, it seems that she has submitted to one main idea. If she doesn't destroy Rapunzel soon, she might have to give up the power that she's been coveting in the Moonstone. With the enchanted girl on her side, Cass has been searching the world in hopes of unleashing the Moonstone's full potential. And we first get to see this play out through Cass's father finding her in the maze that was created by Lord Demanitus. This was one of the last stops for Rapunzel on her journey to the Dark Kingdom, and once held one of the pieces of Lord Demanitus' scroll. So it makes sense that the captain of the guards was able to find her here as she made her way back towards Corona. In the story that Cass's father told about confronting her, we find out that she's become much paler and much more convicted to the dark deeds that she's doing. She seems much more ruthless in nature and sure of the path that she's been going on.
How dare you ask me that? You knew all along how much was taken from me. You knew who my mother was, and you kept it from me.
Cassandra was unleashing an anger that he had never seen within her before. It almost seemed like she wasn't herself. Now, I do think that some of the points she brought up when she confronted her father did make sense, as he didn't tell her the truth for much of her life. He hid the truth that she was the daughter of Mother Gothel, and he should take some responsibility for that, and not try to argue that he was trying to protect her, because eventually she was destined to find out the truth. All she wanted was a loving family, and by not being honest with her, he betrayed her. But of course, I don't know if she would go to those extremes of collapsing a building around him if she wasn't under the influence of the enchanted girl and the Moonstone. But after that confrontation, and likely after realizing that there wasn't much left for her in the maze, she set off away from the Dark Kingdom towards the Great Tree. She was within the place where many had perished attempting to unravel the mysteries that laid within it. Cassandra stood within the place that held the secrets to the healing and the Moonstone incantations.
I told you, this is all that's left of the Great Tree. The incantations were destroyed.
Of course, I have a full video discussing that dark incantation that I will leave linked below, along with a lot of other recommended videos about Tangled the Series that I think you'd really enjoy. The reveal of that dark incantation was definitely one of those moments that had me completely blown away. I didn't know what to do when I first saw that, and it was so exciting to see the lore propel in such a massive way. By channeling that dark magic, Rapunzel was able to discover that she had some type of dark force within her, and that was eventually used to destroy the Great Tree completely. That's why it laid within ruins when the Enchanted Girl and Cassandra entered to search for more incantations. While in the Great Tree, they were hoping to find the incantations left behind by Zontiri and his followers. Because those were destroyed, they had to set their sights on a new target.
Those incantations were our only hope of unlocking the power of the Moonstone. Aside from the Demanitus scroll, but that was destroyed millennia ago.
The Demanitus scroll was what Rapunzel was collecting from the early days of her returning to Corona. Kieran and Adira, both members of the Brotherhood, each had segments, along with the Keeper of the Spire, and the final that we had discussed previously laid within Demanitus's maze. But once it was assembled, it was brought back to Corona to be researched by one genius boy, Varian.
Demanitus? What does it mean?
I think she'll use whatever resources she has at her disposal. She'll use and unleash the black rocks that she has to ensure that she can get the knowledge that she seeks, the Demanitus scroll. And since she's become so ruthless and determined and ready to be influenced by the Moonstone, I think no matter what she finds, she will use it. But what might she find? And what will she do to Corona and Rapunzel? One of the most likely pieces of knowledge that I think that she will get is about Zontiri. He's been a threat that has been heavily connected to Demanitus, Gothel, the Sundrop, and the Moonstone, and I've been thinking for a long time that he will play a part at the end of Rapunzel's story. He has been unleashed before by his followers, and I think since Zontiri was after the Sundrop and Moonstone, that eventually he will move towards them again. But I think more importantly for Cassandra's revenge, Cass will discover a new power within herself. We know how much power Rapunzel has had with a fraction of the Moonstone's magic within her. So if Cassandra can unleash all of its power, it could be devastating for Corona. Maybe Cassandra will use a new incantation to bring upon death and destruction to the people she felt betrayed her. The other ability that I think she might learn about that really excites me is that she will determine how to take back the magic of the Moonstone that lives within Rapunzel.
When Rapunzel touched the Moonstone's black rocks, they gave her their protective power.
So that power that she took belonged to the Moonstone.
Maybe with the Demanitus scroll, her determination to her given destiny at an all-time high, and a commitment to defeat Rapunzel, I think she might use a new incantation to take back all of the Moonstone's magic. This could remove Rapunzel's golden hair that has been keeping her safe, or at least those properties, since no matter what, she is still the embodiment of the Sundrop. I think it could be such an emotional moment to see Cassandra using all of her power to take away Rapunzel's friends, her kingdom, and then even her magic. If you think so too, definitely let me know below, because I feel like this would be such a cool turning point in a way to explain how Rapunzel's hair went away. I always thought that maybe that would happen when Rapunzel neutralized the Moonstone with the Sundrop magic that still lives within her, but this moment could be where Cassandra consolidates the Moonstone's power. These two sisters would then become pure versions of light and darkness. I love how much Tangled the series really plays upon the lore and builds upon it in a very impactful way, and I love the idea that Rapunzel and Cassandra are two opposites of each other right now, and I can't wait to see them come together again, as I believe that they will do at some point in the show. But right now, leading into Cassandra's revenge, they are far apart. Right now in the story, Cassandra is attempting to destroy everything that Rapunzel is. One sister, Cassandra, believes that her destiny is to completely destroy her sister Rapunzel, which again is so tragic, but such a compelling story. So if I had to guess as to what Cassandra's plan of revenge is going to be, it will be to take everything that makes Rapunzel special. I think using the magic that she discovers, she's going to leverage everything that she has at her disposal to take everything that Rapunzel holds dear. And when that happens, when Cassandra and Rapunzel finally are able to confront each other again, I think Cassandra is going to be brought to the peak of her powers. Of course, I believe that Rapunzel is going to attempt to bring Cassandra back to the light. But I first think that Cassandra will have to drudge through a lot of darkness, as she is there. She is going to be coming back to Corona and confronting everyone she knew to take her revenge.
Looks like our next stop is Corona.
Fun people, thanks for watching, and thank you for supporting the channel by liking the video, buying the Wotso Videos merchandise over at wotsostore.com, listening to my podcast Following Dreams, and for subscribing and clicking the beautiful bell if you're new. And finally, as always, have a magical day.